Dear Taurus, the time has come as the door of karma gently closes behind you. A new chapter is on the horizon, set to unfold in just 7 days. Can you feel it? A subtle shift, like a sturdy door quietly shutting, signaling the end of one journey and the beginning of another, more grounded one. There are no dramatic farewells, no loud announcements, just you, standing at the threshold, with a growing sense of steady anticipation in your heart. It's as if an invisible door is softly closing, leaving behind a feeling that is neither painful nor heavy, but rather light and imbued with a steadfast serenity. Today, this closing door is more than just a metaphor. It is a real transition. You are poised at the brink of a new chapter, one where the past no longer dictates your present. You will no longer strain to comprehend why certain opportunities for stability slipped by or why the security you craved seemed to elude you. In the coming week, you will begin to notice small, almost magical signs, like solid keys scattered along your path, guiding you toward a new door. But remember, this door cannot be opened with mere effort. It requires trust in your own enduring worth. So, if you're listening to this, take a moment. Place your hand on your heart and ask yourself, am I truly ready to step into this new chapter, free from the burdens of old fears about instability? There's no need to rush your answer. Just linger here for a moment, as what you're about to hear may profoundly change your self-perception. Reflect on the last time you genuinely trusted your steadfast intuition. It's often a quiet, grounding whisper that beckons you, urging you to return to your true self, your core of resilience and value. There are transformations happening within you that often go unnoticed, even by yourself. Sometimes it takes a quiet morning, standing before a mirror, to recognize how far you've come in building your inner foundation. You may notice your eyes no longer reflect past anxieties about material lack. You no longer wait for an external source of security, nor do you blame yourself for being too practical or cautious. What's happening, dear Taurus? You are shedding the old version of yourself, and the universe is witnessing this evolution with a tender, appreciative gaze. I once feared change, worried that if I transformed into someone new, I might lose the sense of security and recognition I'd built. I was always the one striving for stability, afraid of causing disruption, and clinging to familiar comforts, even when they were no longer serving me. I sacrificed deeper desires to keep the peace, believing my worth was tied to maintaining the status quo and others' approval of my steadfastness. But then one day, I could no longer breathe under the weight of those expectations. I let go, not of people or life itself, but of that old version of me, the one molded by the desire for security, yet never truly living as my authentic, value-driven self. Letting go of that old self is akin to saying goodbye to a deeply ingrained habit you once cherished. It creates a void, leaving you feeling unmoored and adrift, questioning whether you did something wrong, as there's no one there to affirm your new, less predictable journey. No one witnesses your inner struggles, the silent tears shed from the weight of pretense, or the forgiveness granted to those who never acknowledged your quiet strength. But you know who has been there? The universe and you. Taurus, you don't need accolades for your journey. You don't need a trophy or a shout-out on social media. Just the fact that you remain kind and grounded after everything you've endured is remarkable. I understand if you sometimes feel inadequate, comparing your progress to others, thinking they've moved on faster or stronger. But remember, Taurus, you are not in a race. You are a unique narrative, a soul with depths of resilience that cannot be replicated. Perhaps you find yourself in that transitional space. Not quite the old you, yet not fully transformed into the new. It's a liminal space where you've bravely stepped away from stagnation but are still learning to embrace the light of authentic growth. If this resonates with you, know you are not alone. I've walked that path too. In that moment of uncertainty, the universe begins to communicate with you in a gentler, more grounding manner, posing deeper questions. What do you truly desire for your inner peace? What fears about lack still linger? Are you ready to love and value yourself anew? When we shed our old selves, feelings of isolation can arise. The voices of familiar companions may fade, and places once filled with comfort can suddenly feel constricting. But this is not a setback. It is a sign of evolution. You are becoming a truer, more self-possessed version of yourself. And here's something beautiful. Your soul recognized this shift before your mind did. If you sense change within that others don't yet see, if you find yourself in a quiet pause, unsure of what lies ahead, I encourage you to take a small step. Write down something you are ready to release, perhaps a fear of financial insecurity, a stubborn habit, or an outdated expectation. This is not for anyone else's eyes, it's a personal declaration that you are ready to move forward into greater self-reliance. The universe will take note of this, and it will serve as your first signal to open a new chapter. However, when someone dares to change, the universe often sends one last test, a gentle yet profound challenge. An old insecurity may resurface, or someone from your past might reappear, triggering feelings of doubt about your new path. You may wonder, did I take a wrong turn? Was I safer before? But no, you are simply being tested to confirm that you have truly left your old, fear-based self behind. This is the most delicate phase, yet it is also the gateway to your new destiny of authentic abundance. Do not let your ego's desire for predictable comfort intimidate you. Instead, let your heart, with its deep well of inner strength, guide you calmly. Trust that you have journeyed far enough to never look back. In a world filled with noise and judgment, your quiet determination, loyalty, and authenticity are healing, grounding forces for those around you. You don't need to speak excessively. Simply living your truth will make a difference. The karmic door has closed, not with a thunderous crash, but with a subtle shift within you, where you cease to cling to what no longer serves your growth or brings you genuine peace. As a new chapter approaches, the initial feeling may not be excitement, but a sense of emptiness. You are leaving behind a chapter to which you devoted your heart and your considerable patience. In the next 7 days, you may feel this change more acutely, not through grand events, but through a quiet sense of peace deep within, a feeling of being more rooted in yourself. Allow your soul to speak rather than your practical mind. Affirm to yourself, I am ready for something different. I am prepared to live lighter, truer, and more fulfilled, based on my own values. Now I invite you to pause for a moment, close your eyes, and whisper a truth you've never dared to express aloud. I am no longer who I used to be, defined by old comforts, and I deserve to be seen through new eyes that recognize my inherent worth. There's no need to rush. You don't have to know what's coming next. Just breathe and understand that what awaits you will not emerge from struggle, but from a deep agreement within your soul, a settling into your own value. So what lies beyond that door? Perhaps it's an old dream of security, revived in a new, more authentic way, or a brand new version of yourself, lighter, freer, yet more grounded, ready to embrace life. But don't leave just yet. In the next segment, I'll share the final test before the light breaks through, a crucial chapter in the remarkable gift the universe has in store for you. I once believed that when karma concluded, life would instantly soften and become more secure. After enduring countless days of patience and quiet sacrifice, I expected a gentle hand from the universe to rest on my shoulder, whispering, "Now go forth and live in peace and abundance." I held on to that belief, but instead, the first thing I encountered after my darkest days was a challenge more daunting than anything I had faced before. It didn't manifest as a loud crisis, but as a series of silent, emotional storms, rocking my sense of inner stability. Suddenly, I found myself doubting everything I held true. I longed for a familiar comfort I had long since released. I felt as if I was regressing rather than progressing, leading to confusion. I questioned whether I had made a mistake in thinking I had moved past my karma. Why did it hurt again? Why did I feel lost, as if I hadn't truly healed or found my footing? Then I realized this was not a punishment. The universe was gently asking me one pivotal question. Are you truly ready to receive the good, stable things you deserve? That was the moment I understood. I was not failing. I was merely navigating the final challenge before the light of true security arrived. This test is not for the faint-hearted, but for those courageous enough to live authentically and patiently build their own foundations. If you're hearing these words and feel your heart quiet, perhaps you too are in that very place where every emotion is stirred, every foundation questioned. You might find that everything you thought was settled begins to shift again. You may dream of a past security you believed had forgotten you, or hear a song that brings back memories of simpler, if less authentic times, causing tears to flow unexpectedly. You might wonder, why am I regressing? Why do I crave the old familiarities? But you are not going backward. You are being polished one last time, like a precious gem preparing to shine steadily in the hands of someone deserving, and that someone is you. This is your final refinement phase, where all you need is to hold on to faith and your inner strength a little longer. Everything is about to change, to settle into a new, more authentic pattern. This is the moment when many give up, not because they haven't tried, but because they feel weary and the uncertainty feels too great. The pain can feel unbearable, leading them to think, if healing still hurts this much, perhaps I should return to my old self, my old comforts. But don't turn back. You've come too far to retreat now. You've already tasted the light of true self-worth. Therefore, darkness and dependence can no longer be your home. Life often presents a moment of silence before it plays its most beautiful, harmonious melody. Yet that silence can make people doubt themselves, especially a Taurus who craves tangible certainty. The real question is, do you have enough faith to remain still and grounded in that silence? If these words resonate with you, if they articulate feelings you've kept hidden, then perhaps you are in the midst of transformation. You don't need to share your entire story. Just be honest. Express something small, a feeling, a fear about the future, or a challenge to your stability you're striving to overcome. not for others to read, but so the universe can witness your bravery and respond with something equally authentic and supportive. This is the most sensitive moment in these 7 days as a new chapter unfolds. There will be no fireworks or loud announcements, only a quiet stirring in your heart that prompts you to question everything. Who am I? What do I truly need for genuine security? Do I deserve these good things? If you feel as though things are becoming more chaotic instead of easier, do not panic. You are not regressing. You are being reshaped one last time, your foundations being tested for true strength. The karmic door is closing in a way you may not expect, not with a triumphant release, but with a simple truth. You must confront yourself one final time. The new chapter does not knock with fanfare. It arrives in deep silence, asking you one crucial question. Are you certain you want to step to the other side, into a life built on your own terms? I invite you to close your eyes for just 5 seconds. Picture yourself standing before a grand, solid door. There's no handle. It won't open for you unless you approach it with an open, trusting heart. No defenses, no need to prove anything. Just you, with truth in your eyes and gentleness, yet firmness in your heart. Do you dare to step forward? And if you think that after passing this final challenge, everything will become easier, think again. On the other side of this new chapter lies a truth that not everyone is ready to face. You no longer need anyone's approval to live your truth or define your worth. You don't need others to understand or agree with you. You don't need praise to validate your existence or your choices. That is true freedom, true self-sufficiency. But that freedom can only be attained after you pass this final test. And you can do it. Take a moment to stay with yourself. Breathe slowly and understand this. If you are in this phase, you are not lost. The universe is still watching over you, gently, ensuring you feel you are not alone, supporting your steps towards solid ground. Passing this final challenge won't make you a hero. It will simply make you real. No more pretending to be unshakable if you're feeling vulnerable. No more wearing masks of stoicism. No more layers of protection built from fear. When you live in truth, you begin to attract what is also true: genuine love, authentic friends, and true opportunities for stable growth, along with the protection from forces you never even knew were guarding you. In the next part, I want you to feel the liberation that comes from no longer needing others' approval. Why? Because that's the moment you start to live with attraction, light, and the universe's strongest protection, building a life that is truly your own. Don't go away, because if you've made it this far, that light, that inner security, is already within reach. There was a time when I did everything to hear someone say, "You're so reliable," or "You're so strong." I sought validation, to feel worthy of love, belonging, and security. I didn't live life on my terms. I tailored my existence to please others, softening my spirit where I longed to be firm, silencing my needs when I wanted to speak out. I compromised my essence just to remain in someone's heart or a comfortable situation. The more I tried to do everything right by external standards, the emptier and more constrained I felt. There were days I appeared to have it all together, the picture of stability, yet returned home feeling like a ghost. I smiled at the right moments, stayed quiet when it was expected, and avoided disappointing anyone. But I could no longer hear my own voice until one day, after a confrontation where I couldn't defend my own needs, I asked, why do I need someone else's validation to believe in my own worth and my own path? There was no clear answer, just a long, patient journey of peeling away the masks of expected stoicism I had worn for too long. I began to realize that the price of acceptance sometimes meant betraying my own soul, my own deep-seated values. I chose a different path, one rooted in authenticity, not according to societal standards, but according to my heart's own steady rhythm. I stepped into a reality that was genuine, but also, at times, lonely. I lost some relationships. I was labeled as difficult, stubborn, or changed. I was no longer loved or appreciated in the same predictable way. Yet, I began to sleep peacefully again. I found joy in simple solitude and the quiet confidence of self-reliance. And that was when I knew I was truly living, building my life on a foundation of self-trust. Taurus, I know you understand this journey because you too have tried to remain in someone's heart or a familiar situation for the sake of comfort or perceived security. You've softened your edges, quieted your demands, and conformed to expectations, fearing that honesty or asserting your needs might push someone or something away. But did anyone ever teach you that being yourself, in all your steadfast, value-driven glory, is a sacred journey deserving of respect? We are born into a world filled with expectations and roles, yet few remind you that you don't need to play a part. You simply need to exist as your true self. And Taurus, you don't require anyone to validate your worth. You don't need awards or social media acknowledgement. You don't need recognition from the past to know you are valuable. Just the fact that you remain kind and patient after all that could have hardened you is a testament to your nobility of spirit. No one knows how many times you nearly gave up, but still chose to rise again with quiet determination. No one sees the silent tears you shed over perceived failures or insecurities, yet still woke up to brew your tea, go to work, and live with kindness and a commitment to your responsibilities. No one knows how many times you pondered, if I disappeared, would anyone notice my steady presence? But you're still here, still breathing, still loving, still dreaming of a beautiful, secure life. And that is the most beautiful, resilient part of you. If you're still with me, perhaps you feel misunderstood in your need for tangible security and your deliberate pace. I encourage you to write down one thing you appreciate about yourself, something uniquely Taurian you've never shared with anyone, like your incredible patience, your ability to create comfort, or your unwavering loyalty, not for praise or validation, but to remind yourself that you don't need anyone else to affirm your worth. True worth requires no proof. It only needs to be lived, and you embody that every day through your heart and your consistent actions. And then, something magical happens. When you live authentically, rooted in your own values, you no longer chase after anyone or anything. You no longer cling to anyone or any situation at all costs. Those meant for you, those who appreciate your true nature, will come naturally, staying effortlessly. Drawn by your grounded energy, they will connect with you on the same frequency of loyalty and genuine appreciation you are now radiating. When you stop forcing love or security, real love and true security will arrive. When you cease editing yourself for others' comfort, the right person, the right situation will remain without you needing to do anything at all but be yourself. Taurus, perhaps this is the new chapter unfolding in the next 7 days, not through chaos, but through gentle, grounding truths. When the door of karma closes You are no longer bound by others' perceptions or expectations. You begin to see yourself with kindness and self-acceptance. This marks the true beginning of a life filled with inner happiness and self-generated security. From this moment on, if no one ever praises you again, would you still dare to live authentically, true to your own values? Pause for a moment, close your eyes, and ask yourself that question, not in words, but in feeling. If no one ever acknowledges me again, would I still want to live true to my heart, to my own sense of what is right and valuable? If your answer is yes, then you are stepping into genuine freedom and self-possession. There exists a kind of love, a kind of security that doesn't require you to strive for acceptance. It doesn't demand you to be flawless or perfect. It arrives when you cease performing and remains when you are simply yourself, steadfast and true. This is the kind of love and security your soul has been yearning for. After you embrace your authenticity, after you stop seeking validation and external sources of safety, that love, along with your destiny and light, will come to you effortlessly, drawn to your stable core. You don't need to be fully understood. Sometimes just being present in your quiet strength is sufficient. There comes a stage in life when you stop asking, "When will I meet the right person?" or "When will I achieve that perfect stability?" You cease to crave answers to the age-old question, "What was I born to do?" Strangely, the moment you stop searching, the moment you root yourself in your own being, is when destiny starts searching for you. I once believed destiny was a reward for those who persevered tirelessly, a gift for the good-hearted, a happy ending for those who never surrendered. I thought I had to run, to rush, to pray, to sacrifice, to attract my destiny. But destiny, for a Taurus, doesn't hurry. It stands still like a mountain, a star that never wavers. If you're too busy chasing external validation or too loud with anxieties, you may miss it. Not because it's hidden, but because its light only shines, its presence is only felt when your heart finds stillness and self-acceptance. Many Taurus find themselves at a spiritual crossroads. You may still long for connection, yearning to meet someone who validates your belief in true, lasting love and partnership. Yet, deep down, you might also wonder if you can live fully and authentically, secure in yourself, without anyone else by your side. This internal conflict is not uncommon. It's a reflection of your journey towards self-discovery and profound self-reliance. As you navigate these feelings, remember that you are not alone. Many have walked this path, seeking to balance the desire for companionship with the need for self-acceptance and inner security. It's a delicate dance, one that requires patience and understanding. You see, the more you embrace your true self, your inherent worth, the more you attract the right, stable energies into your life. In this moment of reflection, consider how often you've sought validation or security from others. Perhaps you've bent over backward to fit into someone else's expectations, sacrificing your own desires or values in the process. But now, as you stand at this crossroads, it's time to shift your focus inward. Ask yourself, what do I truly want for my peace and well-being? What makes my heart sing with quiet contentment? The answers may not come immediately, and that's perfectly okay. Allow yourself the grace to explore your feelings without judgment. This is a sacred time for you to reconnect with your essence, to rediscover what truly lights you up and makes you feel grounded. As you do this, you'll find that the universe begins to respond in kind, aligning opportunities and connections that resonate with your newfound authenticity and self-assuredness. You might find that those who once felt distant start to return, or new, more aligned people appear, but this time with a different, more respectful energy. You're no longer the same person you were before. You've grown, evolved, and learned to embrace your uniqueness and your own steady pace. This transformation will not only attract new relationships, but also deepen existing ones, building them on a foundation of mutual respect and true value. As you move through this period, remember to honor your journey. Each step you take, no matter how small or deliberate, is significant. Celebrate your progress, even if it feels like a mere whisper compared to the loud noise of the world around you. You are carving out a space for yourself that is authentic, secure, and true, and that is a beautiful, powerful thing. In the coming days, pay attention to the signs the universe sends your way. They may manifest as moments of clarity about your values, unexpected encounters that feel surprisingly comfortable, or even gentle nudges from your steadfast intuition. Trust these signals. They are guiding you toward the next chapter of your life, one that is filled with possibility, genuine connection, and sustainable growth. As you prepare to step through that new door, take a moment to visualize what you want this next chapter to look like. Picture yourself living freely and securely, surrounded by people who appreciate you for who you truly are, in all your calm strength. Envision a life where you are not just surviving, but thriving, filled with joy, love, and a deep sense of fulfillment and inner peace. Embrace the idea that you deserve this happiness, this stability. You are worthy of all the good things that life has to offer. Let go of any lingering doubts or fears that tell you otherwise. The karmic door has closed, and with it the weight of past burdens and insecurities. A new beginning, built on solid ground, is on the horizon, waiting for you to claim it. So, as you move forward, carry this truth in your heart. You are enough. You have always been enough. The love and security you seek are already within you, cultivated through your own resilience, and as you nurture that, it will radiate outward, drawing in the connections and experiences that align with your true, grounded self. Remember, dear Taurus, this journey is not just about finding love or fulfillment in others. It's about discovering the profound love, value, and security that reside within you. As you continue to explore your inner landscape, you will unearth treasures of strength and contentment that will enrich your life in ways you never imagined. And when you finally step into this new chapter, you will do so with confidence, grace, and a deep sense of self-possession. You will walk through that door, not as the person you once were, driven by external needs, but as the vibrant, authentic, and securely rooted being you were always meant to be. The world is waiting for your calm, steady light, Taurus, and it's time to let it shine. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May your path be illuminated with love, joy, and endless possibilities for stable and authentic happiness as you embrace this new chapter. Remember, you are never alone. The universe is always supporting your growth and well-being. Now take a deep breath and step forward into your beautiful, grounded future.